Hi, my name is Clarissa, and today we'll be talking about the educational equality and everyone's right to a solid, fair, and equal public education, regardless of race, religion, gender, social status, disabilities, um, and so forth. Surrounding the issue of educational equality in the United States, there have been numerous laws passed over the years. But today we'll be focusing on three or four that are very important or played a very important role in creating the system that we have in place today. First, we're going to talk about the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin, and set the precedent for all the other steps towards educational equality that we're going to talk about during this video. Next is the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, or the ESEA for short. The Elementary and Secondary Education Act was created by Lyndon B. Johnson in 1965, shortly following the passing of the Civil Rights Act. The Elementary and Secondary Education Act basically provided new grant funding for low-income students, grant funding for books, special education centers, and additional programs to help support students who may have not been given what we would consider a fair chance in today's world. Now fast forward to 2001. The Elementary and Secondary Education Act has now been in effect for over 35 years. But our educational system is still in need of some serious reform. It's George W. Bush's first term in office. It was during this time that the controversial No Child Left Behind law was put into effect. No Child Left Behind basically used student scores from standardized tests to determine which schools get additional federal funding and which schools don't. The punishing style of this act creates all the controversy surrounding it. The idea that motivated No Child Left Behind was that it would act as an incentive system to increase the competitiveness of the American education system internationally. Unfortunately, according to the National Education Association, or the NEA, nearly 1/3 of all instructional time is now devoted solely to studying for standardized tests in order to improve student test scores. Many would argue that this system's hurting our education in the United States because students learn only how to take tests. And doing that, they lose valuable class time not spent learning things that are more applicable to their futures that they'll use in the workplace one day. The last act we're going to talk about today is the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. This act was actually created back in 1975, but there have been many amendments since then. Laws to accommodate No Child Left Behind were created for this act. This IDEA Act ensures that all teachers of students with disabilities are highly qualified and students have research-based instruction. Eventually, IEDA added Parts B and C. Part B ensures that children and youth ages 3 through 21 with disabilities receive special education and related services. Rather than traditional testing, these students must reach what are called functional goals, goals that could be attainable during the course of the school year. Part C is an early intervention plan for children 0 to 2 years old. These plans are to ensure that all children with disabilities nationwide will receive the best possible education we can provide.